The Obama administration faces an unprecedented challenge to its foreign policy from within. 51 career diplomats from across the State Department signed an internal memo calling for new military action in Syria. The classified document is sharply critical of the administration.
Multiple sources say Secretary of State John Kerry has also urged the president to do more. This morning, Kerry says he has not seen the memo, but according to his spokesman, he has been briefed on it, and he calls it an important statement. Margaret Brennan spoke to some of the diplomats. She is at the White House. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning. Well, Nora, it is rare to see dozens of American diplomats formally object to U.S. policy. But after 5 years of brutal war, some within the Obama administration have had enough and are calling for action. With an estimated 500,000 people dead in Syria and thousands of refugees fleeing for their lives, dozens of American diplomats called for a radical change. The 51 State Department officials who signed the classified internal memo argue that the U.S. should destroy Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad's military might. The diplomats told CBS News that Assad has faced no consequence for his brutality. Continuing to ignore Assad while fighting ISIS is dragging out the 5-year war, and they believe is creating new extremists. But President Obama has long been hesitant to intervene in another Mideast war. In 2012, he threatened military action if Assad used chemical weapons.
We have communicated in no uncertain terms with every player in the region that that's a red line for us.
But backed off when Assad killed more than 1,000 people in a sarin gas attack outside Damascus a year later. And ISIS has thrived inside the war zone. While Mr. Obama has committed teams of special operators to target ISIS leaders, he told Charlie Rose that U.S. military involvement would be sharply limited.
That does not mean that we should be deploying troops everywhere where a crisis is taking place, that we have to be judicious about how we use military power.
On Thursday, Senator John McCain blamed President Obama's policies in Iraq and Syria for the ISIS-inspired attack in Orlando.
He pulled everybody out of Iraq, and I predicted at the time that ISIS would go unchecked and there would be attacks on the United States of America. So he is directly responsible.
McCain later said in a statement he doesn't hold President Obama personally responsible for Orlando. But Gail, what is really remarkable about this State Department memo is that it was written by politically neutral diplomats. And they really hope that the White House doesn't dismiss this in the midst of a political campaign. The State Department has to respond in writing within 30 to 60 days.
All right, Margaret, thank you very much.